Well, we are continuing to honor Black Hoosiers this month by sharing stories about Indiana's Black history. And tonight we are taking a deep dive into the pioneer days when African Americans escaped to Indiana searching for freedom. When they got there, they found they were still enslaved until a woman took her case to the Supreme Court.
CBS 4's Darius Johnson takes us on a journey through time.
We try to tell the story of blacks in Indiana from pioneer days until current histories.
Those pioneer days were the early 1800s when African Americans traveled to Indiana searching for freedoms promised to them in the old Northwest Territorial Constitution of 1787.
Was supposed to be an area of freedom, because after all, it was up north.
Among them, Eunice Trotter's great-great-great-grandmother, Mary Bateman Clark. She came from Kentucky in 1814 with her master and was free at first, but later indentured into servitude.
Make no mistake, it was no different than slavery. They were subjected to the same rules of slaves. They were slaves.
Clark wouldn't stand for it, so in 1816 she filed a lawsuit in a Knox County Circuit Court to be freed once again. She was denied, forced to return to her duties.
Then the case was immediately appealed to the Indiana Supreme Court, and that's where she won the judgment.
200 years later, Trotter is sharing her ancestor story in her book, Black in Indiana. She writes that ruling in 1821 set a precedent for the freedoms of others fleeing north by way of the Underground Railroad.
Please help me.
The Slippery Noodle Inn downtown was a safe passage along the route, housing many runaway slaves from North Carolina.
As a result of these increasing freedoms that black people had at that time, vigilante organizations were set up, like the Klan,
who orchestrated violent attacks on black people in southern Indiana near Vincennes, also known as the New York City of Indiana at the time.
There were many cases where communities would be attacked by these groups of gangsters, mobsters, who decided that they did not want their presence there.
Settlements became a safe haven for African Americans starting in 1814, like the Lick Creek settlement in Orange County, featured at the Indiana State Museum. These were communities with farmland, churches, post offices, and opportunities. And with the help of Quakers, it was just what black people needed to make them feel worth more than a slave.
All of us today stand on the shoulders of the people who came here before us. It wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't easy when they got here.
We met Brian Glover while on the snowy sacred grounds of the Roberts Settlement in Hamilton County, one of the few that remain nearly 200 years later. He's the third great-grandchild of one of the founders, Elijah Roberts, who died in 1848.
There's a lot of history here, my family's history, but it's a history that I think kind of belongs to everyone. Elijah Roberts, the guy who was...
He unlocked the swelled doors of the Hollow Chapel, where freed slaves once praised, and history remains preserved.
In 2023, we will celebrate our 100th consecutive family reunion here at Roberts Settlement. So that means a lot.
Places like this made a way for African Americans who sought opportunities beyond freedom, like education, employment, and wealth. At the Indiana State Museum, you're reminded of the progress made, like the opening of Crispus Attucks High School, the only school for black students in Indianapolis.
The victory, not only from the basketball team, but just the victory in the classroom and the wonderful opportunities that were made at this school that helped.
The stories of Indiana's black pioneers becoming more than a gateway to freedom. After a daring trek on the Underground Railroad, their journey paved the way to a true American dream.
They instilled in us an ethic of working hard, of getting an education, of giving back to your community. So I think it's important that we recognize that and celebrate what they've accomplished, and then try to do whatever we can to sort of carry it forward.
Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Darius Johnson.
Such a meaningful story. To learn more about the history of African Americans in Indiana and the Roberts Settlement itself, visit cbs4indy.com/Black History. You can also find our stories underneath the News tab on the front of our homepage.